Are you up for a spooky story? October is Filipino American month. I'm Liz, and I am Filipino American. Usually I share fucked up fairy tales, but in October I share fucked up scary tales. Today I'll tell you the Philippines' urban legend of Maria Labo. Maria was a young mother whose family couldn't live on her husband's meager wages alone. So she traveled abroad, like many Filipinas of her station, to find domestic work overseas. She landed with a family who hid their cruelty behind good manners and fancy living. But Maria was abused and taken advantage of in the worst ways imaginable. She returned to her home in the Philippines, forever altered. For her first night back home, Maria cooked an enormous batch of fragrant adobo. Her husband's nose twitched the minute he walked in the door. He sat down at the table and salivated when Maria set a huge bowl of the marinated meat in front of him. "But where are the children?" he asked. Maria replied, "What do you mean? The children are right in front of you." Only then did her husband see the glowing red of her eyes. The abuse his poor wife had suffered had transformed her into an Aswang, a malevolent supernatural being, leading her to cook and devour their own offspring. The man lashed out with his knife, disfiguring Maria's face in his attempt to kill her, but she escaped from the house and disappeared, and has been haunting the islands ever since. Maria Labo's tale, like much horror, is a reflection of the anxieties Filipinos face when they must make financial and labor choices that threaten the bonds of their families. Elsa Jocson, whose name I may have butchered, wrote a wonderful article for the National Gallery of Singapore about the significance of this tale and other female Aswang characters as a reflection of the trauma Filipino women endure in the domestic sphere. Stories like Maria Labo act both as cautionary tales and expressions of female rage against patriarchal and colonial oppression. Thanks for listening. Do you know a different version of Maria's tale? There are many. What other Filipino ghost stories would you like me to share for spooky season? Maybe even share some of your own.